What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm joined here with Mike, as always. I'm Evan, and today we are joined with a very special guest, my good friend Johnny. What's up, Johnny? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Not too bad. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. So a little backstory of Johnny. We met each other, 2009, grade 9, junior high?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he kind of joined our group of friends, and ever since has just somehow stayed around. I don't know why.
Yeah, no idea why you guys keep me in.
He's a good pro laugher too. So, but yeah, so we brought Johnny on. So today we're actually doing our Gen 1 type of the month favorites. We're going to go through our top 5 favorites of obviously Gen 1, like I just said. But Johnny was telling us actually when we asked him to do this, he was like, I never played Gen 1 until later. I played Gen 4 to start. So I was like, oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. So a lot of my picks are not going to be from like nostalgia or anything, because I played like Evan just said, I played Platinum first. When I was young, I watched the show more. I didn't play the games, and then I went and played 3rd Gen. I played Ruby, and then I played Pokemon Red. So it was my 3rd game I played actually.
That must have been weird.
It was weird, especially going from the mechanics of the 4th Gen games down to like 3rd and then down to 1st. It was like a very, very weird, awkward, backwards progression.
For sure. Okay, shall we?
We shall.
Yep.
Sorry, Mike. How are you? I forgot to say hi. Hi, Mike.
Hi. We only record every day, but you know.
Yeah. So before we start, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't seen any of our other videos, go check them out, especially our red versus blue team lock that we've been doing. I think we just released episode 6, so make sure you go take a look at that. But yeah, so we'll get started. Johnny, because you're the guest, we'll give you the honor of starting off. So start off with your number 5. Start with number 5, okay?
Yeah. Do I go all through 5, or do we take turns with each number 5 and then keep going?
We'll take turns.
Yeah, okay. All right. So my number 5, actually, other than my number 1, was the first one I thought of, and then he progressively went down the list as I went through the Pokédex. But Snorlax is my number 5 favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. He's just a beast. He's super annoying when he's in your way. And I remember when I played, I was a kid. I wasn't probably as young as you guys, but I had no freaking clue how to get past him. And then when I fought him, I caught him, and I thought he was a legendary at first, because this is before we had like Cerebi and stuff to look up Pokemon, and I just thought he was a legendary because he was such high level when we fight him. And I don't know, Snorlax has just always had a special place in my heart ever since I first played Gen 1, and he was on my team in Gen 6. He was on my team in Sun and Moon. He was on my 2nd team that I played. He's just fantastic Pokemon. Love him to bits. And I like how he progressively gets up from bed and stands on 2 legs to continue through the generations Pokédexes.
Yeah, I was just literally about to say that.
Yeah, super.
So funny enough, Snorlax was actually one of my honorable mentions, but right before we started, I cut him off because I thought I had too many honorable mentions, but I totally agree with you. He's a beast, and I remember using him. Yeah, I remember using him in like a body slam Snorlax, and then he could have like all the other TMs. Fuck, he was so good.
Right. Yeah.
All right, Mike, go ahead, buddy.
I was going to let you go next. My number 5 is Magneton. For the sole purpose that it evolves into Magnezone in Gen 4.
Oh, boo.
So no. What, you're gonna get a Magneton when you're 6 years old, and then 10 years later you guys just wait.
But anyway, no, the typing is awesome. I love Electric Steel. I thought it was really cool.
He wasn't a Steel type, but sure.
No, I know, but now.
Steel wasn't even exist back then.
But now it's awesome. But yeah, I just
agreed.
I don't know. I don't like Pikachu. It's a thing. If you guys hadn't heard, I don't like Pikachu. So that he was kind of my electric type. I think the first time I played it. So I think that's what I kind of like him a little bit. He's kind of nostalgia for me. And yeah, I chose Flareon instead of Jolteon the first time I played. So I didn't really have that electric type. So super helpful. during it all. Don't shake
Well,
your
that
head
was
at me.
that was your first mistake. Um, all right, so my number 5. Actually, when I was making this list, a lot of these that came up, I was like, shit, I didn't even know I liked them until I looked at them. I'm like, I love this guy. What the hell was I thinking? So my number 5 was Kabutops. Now, I remember when I first started playing, I saw Kabutops. I thought he was sick. And then you got him as a fossil at level 30 at Kabuto. I thought it was awesome. But the problem was the only moves he had were like Absorb when you like purified it. So you could teach it Surf. But the problem was to try to level up a Kabuto at Cinnabar Island, you're already on like this like Blaine, you're level 50s and shit. So trying to get a Kabutops at that point is impossible. So I never really got to use him, but I love his design. His move pool, as he like got better, like when they started making physical moves that actually worked for him, he was a lot better. He actually had like pretty good base stats. Like he's got a 430 base stat, and back then that was huge. Like some of the best Pokemon in the first gen had like less than that. But I'll get to that later on in the list. But I loved Kabutops. He didn't really work well in the first game, which is disappointing. But he got way better as he went. So
Right.
yeah. All right, number 4, Johnny.
All right, so my number 4. This one again I knew was going to be my top 5 from the beginning. Aerodactyl, actually. Maybe not so much on like combat prowess, but just based on design, he's super badass. There's very, very few Pokemon in Gen 1, in my opinion, that have a more intimidating like design than Aerodactyl. He's also huge too. Like he's way bigger than I thought. Like if you read his Pokédex entry, he's gigantic, which is fantastic. He's super, super, super strong. I also like rock types. Golem didn't make it on my top 5 though, unfortunately. But Aerodactyl probably is my favorite. Sorry, man. It's probably my favorite rock type of all time, and definitely my favorite rock type in Gen 1 for sure.
That's fair. So funny enough, Aerodactyl is also one of my honorable mentions. So there you go.
Damn, dude. I bet you all mine are probably going to be honorable mentions.
Probably. Actually, funny story. In my last Red playthrough on my DS emulator, I had an Aerodactyl, and that was like the first time I actually like used it because I think I like traded it over to start the game with it, kind of thing. And I loved it.
Oh, okay.
He was so good. Like I know in that game, there's no real good rock type moves for him. Like you could teach him Rock Slide, which is fine.
Right.
And then
yeah.
you probably
Pretty much
teach him
Rock Slide,
Fly. Yeah, Rock Slide and Fly were kind of his moves, but other than that, it was like Hyper Beam and Swift and just whatever. But he was still like so fast, so good. Loved using him, and now like the Mega evolution on him, so good.
Yeah, his Mega is great. He gets a goatee, which is like
Yeah, there you go.
How can you not love goatee Aerodactyl?
Coming from the guy with a goatee. All right, Mike, number 4.
All right, my number 4. The first, from Red and Blue, it's impossible to pretty much get to them, and there's no Dragon-type moves in the game. And that's Dragonite. Its base stats is 600. Like, you can't go wrong.
That's true.
You can't go wrong with it, like, power-wise. Obviously, in our playthrough of Red and Blue right now, I'm trying to keep Dratini the whole entire time, just so I can get
Same.
Dragonite. Oh, you're trying to, eh? As you said every single episode that you're going to get rid of it.
So just to clarify, Johnny, so our team lock is like a Nuzlocke. I just caught an Alakazam, and the problem is the way that we're doing it is in order, because we call it a team lock, in order to swap Pokemon out of your team, we've made it so you have to sweep a gym leader to get a switch, and once you have that switch, you can swap them on out. So I was going to try to sweep Koga, I think it was.
Right.
But it didn't work. It was bullshit. But that's an episode way further on. We've already recorded it, so you guys will find out more later on. But spoiler alert.
Right.
But yeah. Dratini was the one I was going to be like, fuck you, because the rest of my team is sick. So sorry, Mike. Continue.
Anyway, it can pretty much move. Its moveset's unreal as well. Like, it can learn basically anything you want it to learn. Like, if you teach it like Outrage, Hyper Beam, You can teach it Blizzard, Thunder, Fire Blast, Earthquake. The list goes on. You can teach it literally anything you want. And I think that just makes them so good. And, Dragon types for the win. So.
Yeah. So again, funny story. Dragonite's on my honorable mentions list.
Honorable mention, here we go. Yeah.
He's actually going to be my number 5, and then I had one more guy sneak in there, and I was like, okay. So my number 4, I feel like this one's going to be a little weird, and not a lot of people. I'm sure lots of people loved it growing up, but like as a kid, I always thought this was like the coolest Pokemon. Because it looked like a dinosaur, and it was like I was a huge dinosaur kid. But my number 4 is Kangaskhan. Now, I've never actually, not that I can recall, used a Kangaskhan because I could never get one. He was the Safari Zone; it was impossible. But I could never get one. And then as I grew up, I kind of lost interest because he kind of wasn't as good, kind of as it like matured compared to other Pokemon. But like I remember Pokemon Stadium. How like it could learn every move and just like fighting against it, it was so cool. And it was like a kangaroo, but it also looked like a dinosaur. I thought it was dope. Its base stats are 410, which isn't bad. But I don't know. I just as a kid I loved him. He was one of my favorites growing up, just design purely. So yeah, that's my number 4.
Did you ever use Kangaskhan in 6th Gen when it got its Mega?
I don't think I use them as like a run through. Like usually when I play a game, I make my team of 6 before I play it, and then I try to get it. But I eventually, like I don't think I said okay Kangaskhan for sure, but I did like get one as I'd play and like try to use it as like the Mega variation after I kind of like beat the game just to kind of see what it was like. But yeah, I mean his Mega is really cool. It's honestly the ability he gets is OP as shit. But that's actually kind of why I stopped liking him because everybody used him and it became annoying to fight against. So, super frustrating.
So is he actually in your top 5 or?
Yes, for my Gen 1 favorite Pokemon, it's Kangaskhan. If we were talking about like a Gen like 5 or whatever, Gen 6 when he gets his Mega, I'd be like meh. But it's still a cool Mega. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to use him. It just. He was my favorite growing up, besides Charizard. Yeah. Also, sorry, I don't know if we mentioned yet, because me and Mike have done this video kind of before with favorites. Me and Mike aren't choosing starters. Just want to clarify that before everybody gets all mad. Johnny, we allowed him to just because he hasn't been on the channel yet, but the fact that me and Mike would probably both come on here and you guys know our number 1s already wouldn't be really that great. So we decided not to choose starters and go from there.
Either way, my number 1's obvious anyway, just based off of my 6.
No, I know. I'd rather do that than fucking just starter bullshit. So, sorry. Go ahead, Johnny.
He's on my top 5, but I would have at least brought variety because my favorite starter is Venusaur. Because
there you go.
Mean, Charizard's a joke because he's not Dragon type. Sorry, Evan.
I know. So I think the biggest joke is that he doesn't learn Fly.
True.
Yeah. So my third favorite started out as my second favorite. My first favorite, Evan sees a mile away, and we'll get to that later. But he started off as my second favorite, and then dropped down to my third when I thought of my second. Lapras.
Ah, yeah.
Love Lapras. Absolutely, without a doubt, my favorite water type in Gen 1, and definitely within like my top probably 3 water types of all time. He's just so strong. Absolutely wrecks. I don't memorize like the base stat off the top of my head or anything, but obviously teach it Ice Beam and Surf, and you're off to the races. So absolutely amazingly strong Pokemon. And as we go on, the Gigantamax form is pretty freaking cool too.
True.
So definitely my favorite. My only gripe with it is that it doesn't evolve, and I've always kind of had a same with Snorlax too. I've always kind of had an Aerodactyl. I just realized 3 of my top 5. But I've always had kind of an issue with Pokemon that only have like the one stage. I do like when I play through for my Pokemon to have that progression and that evolution. Which like so funny. I just realized now looking at my list that 3 of my top 5 have one stage, which is funny. But yeah, Lapras is my number 3 for sure.
All right.
I was going to add to that. I remember Saffron City when you get a Lapras and it's only level 15. It's such a disappointment. But I agree with you. He's super strong. So sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
Stop cutting me out,
I'm
asshole.
apologizing to you.
All right.
Love you too, buddy.
Fuck you. Anyway, so my number 3. I love him as a fire type. I talk about it in our Red and Blue series that if I was to get any fire type, that's who I wanted outside of Charizard. And Evan, let's see if you remember. Come on, Evan, remember?
I remember.
Okay,
I remember.
so it's Arcanine. I think my first playthrough, my second playthrough, I can't remember which one. My second playthrough, I think I used him. He's so powerful. The fact that he should have been a legendary, we're not I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Entei, right?
So when they made the 3 birds, it was Arcanine was supposed to be a legendary among them, but they decided to cut him and make him a regular Pokemon. So,
Oh, really?
At least that's the theory. Yeah, there's like a photo. Oh, it's in what was it? The first Pokemon movie? There's like a stone tablet and it shows the birds, and then a picture of an Arcanine right next to them. It's like all part of the lore or whatever behind it. Yeah,
I didn't even know that. I'm not surprised with its design. Arcanine's a badass, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also one of the Pokemon too that's huge. Like if you like in the Pokédex too, it's big. It's way bigger than like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love Growlithe. I love the way they utilized him in the series, making him like a police fire dog.
Yeah.
I was about to say that too. Yeah, I love his canon in the series as well, being the police dogs.
Yeah, he's just badass. I love his special attack, everything like that. I just think he's awesome.
Nice. Okay, so my number 3 is actually kind of like there's multiple, but they're like all the same. So like the 4 Pokemon that evolved from trade, I'm going to exclude Alakazam just because I know he's like a big deal and I feel like he's OP, so I'm not including him. But Golem, Gengar, and Machamp, I'm kind of making a 3-way tie. And the reason is, when I was looking at them, I love all 3. Golem for sure. I'm pretty sure he was on my top 10 list. That's what I started off with. Was my number 3 was Golem. But then looking at it, I was like, I also love Gengar and Machamp. And I just love their whole evolution lines. I love everything about it. I like the trade concept. Like, it's super cool. And I actually looked up all their base stats. They're pretty much all identical, except Gengar has, he's a 425, whereas the other 2 are 420, which, but, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to put all 3 because I couldn't really pick just one of them because all 3 of them to me were just super cool growing up. I couldn't really decide which one was better, So those are the 3 that I liked. If I had to pick one, I'd put Golem for sure. I just love his design. I love everything about him. It just sucks for the quad weakness of water, but Gengar and Machamp are definitely a little bit more usable. And if you guys haven't seen our Red and Blue verses, I'm using both. So
quad weakness to water and grass.
And grass, yeah. Well, yeah, and the water is the bigger deal because with grass types, there's not that many, but water types are everywhere.
and also grass types are absolute trash.
Yeah.
Coming from someone that enjoys using grass types.
Oh, me too, yeah. I think the best one is Victory Bell using a Razor Leaf, and then it's myth.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, so I was going to say to add on to that, Machamp is in my honorable mentions just because if you don't use him, what other fighting type are you really going to use? Like you have Primeape and the Hitmons, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee. That's really it.
See, you also have Poliwrath, which I was going to put on my list.
You do have Poliwrath.
Because I love Poliwrath. I love the typing. I love everything about him. I look at it and I think Machamp looks cooler. I like him a little bit better. It was just, but yeah, Poliwrath is definitely a close second for me in terms of fighting types. The rest I'm whatever.
Machamp's also that iconic fighting type. He's the one that from then on, all fighting types kind of are designed around Machamp. You can't have a fighting type without thinking of Machamp, really.
Yeah, and I remember the Pokemon cards. The Machamp card was just so cool, the holo.
Yeah,
that was when I was this guy's sick.
Yeah, I had a Machamp.
Mm-hmm.
Before you go on to your number 2, Johnny, I just want to say, Evan, I can't believe you turned your list to a top 7. I can't believe you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, we had rules, man.
What the hell?
Hey,
You know how many Pokemon I had to cut?
Hey, same here, buddy. Okay, fine. I'm gonna say
Same here, the
Golem.
guy that has a top 7 and like 16 honorable mentions.
Exactly. Okay,
Okay.
so let me do it this way then. Golem is my number 3, like I originally wanted, but then I'm having Gengar and Machamp as an asterisk because I feel like they're all kind of the same category as like the trade Pokemon, and I love all of them. Like that red playthrough that I was just talking about, I used Blastoise and Aerodactyl, and the rest were the 4 trade mons. Like those were the 4 I wanted to use because I never could growing up. So Golem is my number 3. The other 2 will be kind of like a honorable mention underneath him. But there you go. Fuck you, Michael. All right, Johnny, number 2.
All right, so for all the Psychic fans out there that feel very left out because Evan didn't include Alakazam in his top 7, Alakazam is my number 2. One, because when I actually first used Alakazam was not in my first playthrough of Red. I didn't play the original Red. I didn't have a Game Boy. I played Fire Red. And then after Fire Red, I played Heart Gold. And in Heart Gold, actually, when I went back and looked at all my teams in all the games I played, Heart Gold I played, other than my starter, were all first-gen Pokemon. And funny enough, actually, I used all 4 of the trade Pokemon. And at the time, before at the time before I realized that my number 1 was my number 1, which, funny enough, my number 1 of this gen is my number 1 of all time. Alakazam was my number 1 because he just hit like a fucking truck. Alakazam is insane. He is so strong. You could beat the game with a Kadabra. You don't even need to trade him to get an Alakazam. He's out of this world. And then, of course, he's number 2 because on top of his amazing stats, his incredible speed and incredible special attack, he also has an incredible typing for Gen 1 because Psychic's only weaknesses were Bug and Ghost. But like you said before we started this... so it was only Bugs in the first games because Ghost actually didn't affect Psychic types until Gen 2. Right, and then Dark wasn't introduced until Gen 2.
Exactly.
So really, his only weakness was Bug, and if we pull up the freaking Bug moves, there's nothing, right? So Alakazam essentially was a freaking Gen 1 Spiritomb on crack.
Yeah.
Just was an unstoppable force. Insane. I don't know what the fuck Game Freak was thinking when they were sitting in the boardroom in Gen 6 and said, what Pokemon should we give a Mega? Why not Alakazam? Give him 12 more spoons and make him fucking speedier than Deoxys. I don't understand, man. He's just so strong. I can't make a top 5 Gen 1 list and not put Alakazam on there.
Well, and I remember when they came out with the Megas for Gengar and Alakazam, and it made sense because they're fan favorites. But the thing is out of those 4 trade Pokemon, you took the 2 best and made them better. Yeah. And then it was kind of like Golem gets an Alolan version, which was I really like the Alolan version, but it was just kind of like whatever. And then Machamp finally, I love the Alolan version
better than the
so much. Yeah, for sure. But then Machamp just got the Gigantamax, and I was like, it's about goddamn time because he was so like as like the gens went on, he was so forgotten. Yeah, oh yeah. I thought he got worse as the games went on. Like I just felt like I could never use it.
The potential of Megas that Machamp could have had, like secondary typings that he could have had, like Ampharos going from Electric to Electric Dragon. Like think of all the stuff freaking Machamp could have had.
Oh yeah, you could have made him a ground type, a rock type, a steel type. You could have given him fire.
Yeah, like, you could have made him have like freaking like his freaking 4 arms on fire and made him like an elemental second type.
Well, look at the Gigantamax. If you literally just made that as a Mega, there you go.
For sure.
But cool. Alakazam number 2, excellent. Mike.
All right, staying with psychic types. I'm gonna go with Father Time. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, there's no other psychic type that you should pick. So, Johnny, if you don't know, Father Time is his Mr. Mime from our playthrough.
Right. Okay.
I so annoying.
So, anyway, my actual number 2 is Slowbro. So you guys will see eventually. The Snorlax in our randomizer for me was Slowbro, and I didn't catch it because my game glitched out and froze, and I killed it. So I'm pissed off about that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was awful. Evan was laughing his ass off because I hate him.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I loved it.
But yeah, I love Slowbro. I didn't use him the first couple times I played, and then once I grew up, I started using him more, and I love him. I just love the water psychic typing more than Starmie. Starmie can fuck off.
Hey, I love Starmie. Starmie's on my honorable mentions. I actually almost put him on my list. I love Starmie.
And then, of course, he has a Mega, the Galarian form. Slow King, if he was Gen 1, would be the actual one on this list. Like, he's in my top 10 favorites of all time. So, just the fact that Slowbro is amazing. Slowpoke is fucking adorable. I don't care what people say. And, yeah.
All right. Cool. So, my number 2, I know Mike kind of talked about him earlier, is Jolteon. And the reason for that, so his base stats are 430, which are the same as Kabutops, and honestly, that's pretty good considering all the rest of the Pokemon I've looked at were about 400. But the reason why I love Jolteon was the evolutions were all cool, but Jolteon was definitely the best. Like, it went Jolteon, Vaporeon, Flareon, because the thing is Jolteon could beat Vaporeon, and then Vaporeon could beat Flareon. The problem was Flareon was shit in Gen 1, because it was a physical fire type attacker with no physical attacks. Vaporeon was good, but Jolteon was like, the only weakness it has is ground types. And to me, that's fucking unreal. It was fast and it hit like a truck. And then it was so good in the Elite Four because it would destroy Lorelei in like the first member, and then it would help you against Lance because the electricity on the Gyarados and like the Dragonite would actually be good. And then against Gary, obviously, it would help out. But then I also enjoyed the fact that it got Pin Missile and Double Kick. And even though it wasn't a physical attacker, it still added like some variety of moves. And Double Kick would be decent against like rock types that it wouldn't really be good against. So Jolteon's my number 2. Out of the 3 evolutions, he's definitely my favorite. And I love him. Super good mon. I used him in every team I ever did. You got a free EV all the time, and I picked him every single time. So that's my number 2. Easy pick. I had no hesitation with that. So before we get to number 1, we'll list our honorable mentions just to kind of get those out of the way, and then we'll go to number 1. So Johnny, go ahead with your honorable mentions if you had any.
Just like name off the ones that I listed, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your honorable mentions. Go for it.
Okay, so 2 of my honorable mentions are Weezing and Arbok. Just because come on, man, right? I'm a huge Rocket fan.
Yeah.
And my first crush ever was Jessie. Like, ever of all time. When I
Are you sure it wasn't James?
I don't know, man. you know how I said, like everyone's, like, in every guy's life, his line gets a little wavy. For me, it was James, man.
Oh, no.
I'm a huge fan of Team Rocket, and I think it would be a crime if we did a Gen 1 video and didn't mention Weezing and Arbok, personally.
That's fair.
Now, I apologize if you guys can hear that. I live by a hospital.
It's okay.
My bad, guys. So moving on to more serious honorable mentions, I really like Porygon as far as design goes. I think he's super great. I like Mewtwo. I know it's a cop-out because it's a legendary, but I like that it's, like, in the lore, a man-made Pokemon.
That's, yeah, I can appreciate that.
I'm a scientist in real life, right? I work with DNA and genetics. Mewtwo's, that's why I like Mewtwo. I know it's a cop-out because he's a legendary and he's, like, everyone's favorite legendary, and he got fucking 2 megas in Gen 6 when freaking Flygon is sitting there like, what the fuck, buddy?
Yeah.
And then my last honorable mention that I put on was, if I can find it here. Oh, we actually already mentioned it. It's Poliwrath. Because
awesome.
Water fighting, fantastic typing in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes,
awesome.
Those are my
I totally agree. I like your list. Poliwrath for sure. I love Poliwrath. But yeah, okay, Mike.
Okay, so I have Executor. This stuff, it's typing Kabutops. Ninetales. Just for Ryan's sake, I'll say Raichu. I know you were going to, but I'll say it. Even though I hate Pikachu, Raichu's okay.
Yikes.
I had a bunch in my head. Anyway, it doesn't matter. A bunch that you guys listed. I'll put them up on the screen.
Okay, cool. So the first honorable mention I'll say, obviously Mike just said it. So shout out to our number one fan. He comments on all the videos. He has watched every single video. He's my best friend Ryan. He requested, because he wasn't going to do this video with us, he'll be in later ones, that we do Raichu for him. So shout out to Ryan. Raichu is an honorable mention. I love Raichu. Him and Jolteon for me were always like the two electric types I would use. So definitely Raichu. Love Raichu. So there you go, Ryan. Love you, buddy. Other than that, I had Dragonite, Starmie. So fuck you, Michael. Starmie. I also had Aerodactyl, like I said earlier with Johnny. And then my other two were Rhydon and Kingler. Rhydon because, I don't know, it was just all the first gen, like Golem, Rhydon, Onyx, they were all badass. I loved them. He got an evolution later, which is great, but I still have a spot in my heart for Rhydon over Rhyperior. And then Kingler, for me, I thought was always so cool. Like, I thought he was underappreciated, and he just hits so hard, and he's good defensively. So that's why he's on my honorable mentions. But yeah,
and you also gotta love how Ash's Krabby terrorizes Professor Oak.
Yeah, well, and you know what? When he got Kingler, like when it evolved, and he had a Kingler, it was honestly arguably one of his best Pokemon.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
He was so good. So I was like, fuck yeah, go Kingler. And now he's got a Gigantamax, which is cool. So
yeah. With you finishing your honorable mentions, I am so surprised. Unless one of these two Pokemon is your number one, which I don't think it is, if I know you. I'm so surprised you didn't mention either Butterfree or Nidoking. You and I had a long conversation about how fucking OP Butterfree is in the early game of Gen 1. It has really, really good typings. It learns some pretty good status moves, and you evolve it super early. So you can go into the first gym even with a pretty strong Pokemon. I mean, Butterfree's not a hard hitter in the end game, but as you play through the game, you and I had a really long conversation about Butterfree being a pretty good Pokemon.
Yeah, so I'll touch on...
It learns Psybeam, right?
Confusion.
Confusion, yeah. So it learns a psychic move. It learns Sleep Powder, I think, which is one of the few Pokemon in Gen 1 that does learn Sleep Powder. So I'm surprised you didn't mention that. And then Nidoking, unless that's your number one, Nidoking has always been one of your favorites. I'm so surprised. Okay,
well, with Butterfree and both Beedrill growing up, I thought they were kind of cool. Butterfree, yeah, you're right, is a great Pokemon at the beginning. The reason why he's not on my list was I felt like there was more Pokemon that meant more to me. Butterfree was great at the beginning, but because you can't use him throughout the whole game, I just felt like he didn't really have a spot for me.
Man, anyone that you know there's going to be internet contrarians. They're going to be typing on their keyboard, being like, "Screw you, Evan! I used a Butterfree only run in my first time playing Gen 1."
Hey, you know what? So did I. So did I. But you know what? I'll also add to that Venomoth. I think Butterfree and Venomoth are both decent because they can learn Psychic type moves. So I will add. There you go. Butterfree is one of those Pokemon that is. I did use it growing up quite a bit until it became shit at level 20. But other than that,
yeah.
Also, shout out to him finding his Butterfree wife in the show.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Do you shiny but not shiny? Yeah.
Watching that as a kid, man.
I'm actually upset that the shiny sprite for Butterfree was not the white and pink one.
Oh, wasn't the female Butterfree from the show?
Yeah. I'm sorry, but fuck you. Come on, Pokemon. Now he's got green eyes and he just looks purple. You missed an opportunity. But, so we're going to start with our number ones, and because Johnny already fucking said it, yes, Nidoking is my number one, so there you go.
Okay, there we go. All right, I was so surprised when you were going through I didn't think Nidoking was going to be your number one. But then at the last second, I realized we're doing starters, right? So that's...
Yeah, so the reason why he's my number one is, like, if on my top 10 Pokemon list, I think he's like my number 2 or 3. I love Nidoking. I remember getting Nidoran early on. And funny enough, I like Nidoran, love Nidoking. I hate Nidorino. Absolutely hate him. I think he's so bad. And, like, yeah, but the problem is you have to use him before you can use a Moonstone to get moves. So it's super frustrating when I have to use a Nidorino.
Right.
But I love Nidoking. He hits hard. The typing isn't that great, but it's okay. Especially in Gen 1 because Psychics would just fuck him up right away. But I love his TM variety. I love his design. Absolutely love it. I also love in Pokemon Stadium, he's actually really small. He looks like this monster, and he's fucking tiny. Like, I think he's only like 4 feet tall or something, which is great. I was gonna say one more thing about him. Oh, me and Michael found out something interesting. In Red and Blue, he can't learn Dig.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
like
dumb.
the Nidorans are supposed to be like the burrowing like Pokemon,
Does
right?
he-
Like that's
does he
kind of
learn
their thing.
Earthquake? You level up or
Not no, because he is a Moonstone. He doesn't learn Earthquake. He learns like
Oh, yeah. Sorry, after you
Thrash and stuff.
Right.
But you have to give him the TM to learn it, right?
Right.
So I'm sure he learns it in other games, but the problem is the Moonstone, right? So,
Right.
but yeah, that's the only thing that holds me back with him. Like I love him to death. He's great, but he lacks so much. But yeah, that's my number one. There you go.
Here's the ultimate twist of this video. When we get to our bottom 5, Evan's number 1 for worst is going to be Nidorino.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so before me and Johnny do our number ones are the same. It is Gengar for both of us,
really?
right?
Yeah, because I already know your number one, and Mike's is that's his number 3.
He's like
No.
This is the OG Black Mama? I would have never, ever guessed that you were a Jinx fan. And that's so funny you mentioned that, because right before I said my number 1, I was going to say that I'm so pleasantly surprised that up until, I guess, this point, none of us had duplicates.
Yeah.
Like, none of us in our from top 5 to 4, or sorry,
Yeah.
top 5 to 2 had any duplicates at all.
Well, and I knew both of your favorites were going to be Gengar, so I was also
I can't say
surprised.
Blastoise, so
No, I know. Normally it would be Blastoise, but I was actually surprised that we didn't have any duplicates. So there you go.
but yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna let Johnny take it away since it's his favorite Pokemon, and it's on his arm, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's got a fucking
It
tattoo of it.
I can show you guys, yeah. So, yeah, as it's been spoiled, my number 1 is Gengar. And like I said, back when I played Heart Gold, 4 of my Pokemon were the evolution Pokemon. And my starter was Typhlosion, and my 6th was Steelix. But so I used Gengar and Alakazam, and this is when I realized that Alakazam was my favorite. And for a long time, it was my favorite until I played 6th gen again. And then once I played 6th gen, that was when it was really solidified that Gengar was my favorite. He was always one of my favorites. But once I played 6th gen again, and I finally used him again with his Mega, I realized how hard he hit. And also, young me playing Heart Gold was using him wrong, and I was using fucking Hypnosis and Dream Eater, and it was just really clunky. And I liked the whole I liked the whole idea of it, like the Pokemon that puts you to sleep and feasts on your dreams. But we have Hypno for that. Gengar's purpose is being a fast as shit Pokemon that hits you with Shadow Balls that may as well be Cannonballs. Absolutely incredible badass Pokemon, and really, really good typing too. Right? Like having a stab, ghost move, and poison move, very, very strong. And it also really, really hurt my soul when he was nerfed and he was Levitate was taken away. Totally.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But, and I know at the beginning I said that my picks here wasn't going to be based off nostalgia, and they weren't as far as playing the games went. But I remember because, and it's funny because my number 1, and I guess Michael's number 1, and Evan's number 1 are the first 2 Pokemon shown in the show.
Correct.
they're fighting when Ash is watching TV. And I remember when I
Whoa. Fuck Nidorino. Don't fucking associate that piece of shit with me.
So I remember when I watched that show, when I friggin' sat down on my living room floor, cross-legged, and I looked up at the TV and I saw that. That's when my love for Pokemon began. And when I saw Gengar, that was like right up my aesthetic. It was purple, it was flying around, it was menacing, it was a ghost, and I loved Gengar from then on. Yeah, and then my tattoo I'll show you guys here. So I got that done just over a year ago now.
You gross armpit.
Yes. You're going to have to flag this video on YouTube as, as
nudity.
But,
show us your nipple.
Yeah, right. I should also add on with Gengar. Gengar is my favorite Pokemon as far as like the games go, but design-wise, Haunter is my favorite. I don't think there's another ghost-type Pokemon in the game that looks more like what you would expect a ghost-type Pokemon to look like than Haunter, in my opinion. And also in the show, too, I like how Ash caught a Haunter to fight Sabrina, which I thought was... And the way that the Haunter beat Sabrina, I thought was just so clever and so well-written, and it was just such a funny moment in the show. So I have nothing but love for the Ghastly evolution line. Nothing but love for it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, I'm with you. I'm disappointed they took away the Levitate. I like how they used the Gengar like that. I'm also very frustrated that the Nidorino Gengar battle at the beginning of the show, why they would use a Nidorino? Because it literally cannot touch a fucking Gengar. So
nothing it can use can even affect a Gengar.
Like, okay, later in the gen, or later gens, you get Bite, maybe, and maybe some dark type moves, but I remember seeing like a video meme where it was like, Nidorino, use Horn Attack. Oh. Poison Sting? Oh, no, wait. It was just like, the trainer goes, shit. and in this like game, the little opening thing of Gengar and Nidorino and like the show, Nidorino tries to tackle it, and I'm like,
this is so why you suck. If he like succeeded and just like went through Gengar.
Yeah.
You didn't even touch him. I remember when just to add on again, just because I could talk about Gengar for hours, man. I remember when I first played, what would it have been? 6th or 7th gen, the gen after he lost Levitate. I didn't know that until one of the enemies I was facing threw out a ground type and used Earthquake. And it hit me, and it was super effective, and I died. And I was like, what the fuck? I literally thought my game was broken. I remember texting Ryan, and I was like, dude, what the hell? I just got hit by an Earthquake. Am I high? And he was like, nah, man, they took Levitate away. And I was so heartbroken. I think I actually cried. I think I actually had to go buy a tub of Ben & Jerry's ice cream and mourn the loss of Gengar's Levitate.
Well, I think it almost kind of helps Haunter in a way, because Gengar is unbelievable and has a Mega. Nice. But now it's like, if you're using a Haunter, it gets Levitate. And if you give it an Eviolite...
yeah.
Like, that's pretty good. Like, I wouldn't argue with that if somebody chose that over a Gengar, so...
Yeah, well, like I said with my number 2 with Alakazam, you don't even need an Alakazam. You can use a Kadabra. Same thing with Gengar. You could just plow through the game with a Haunter. Haunter hits hard too.
Yeah, fuck you, Machoke and Gravel. You guys suck. But yeah, so that's our top 5 list. So now me and Mike, like always, are going to do our little battle. We're going to use our top 5 list no matter what. That's our team for 5, and then our 6 is going to be a random, whatever we want. It should be one of our honorable mentions. It's going to be kind of like a mystery to the other person, but we'll do that shortly. Johnny, thank you for coming and hanging out with us and doing this video with us. It was a lot of fun. Even though you're not really a Gen 1 guy, you really are a Gen 1 guy, so
yeah,
that was really,
really
great.
Yeah, it's not as nostalgic because I wasn't a kid playing the games growing up with it, right? Which kind of sucks. Like, I wish I could relate with that. But if you guys ever do a Gen 4 video, I'll be back. And that's
Gen-
when I'll start talking about nostalgia.
Gen 4 is going to be a party.
Yeah, so spoiler alert, when we get to Gen 4, which will be in a few months kind of thing, because a type of the month thing, we're actually going to probably get you and Ryan, because that was kind of like the one Gen Ryan also really wanted to do, so we're probably going to get you both on here and we'll do that. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I will.
So,
It will be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So we'll see you guys in a second. Johnny, we'll see you next week for our worst video, our worst 5.
Let's just not even lie. We'll see you right now because we're doing another 2 videos.
Yeah, we're gonna record this right after, but we'll see you next week.
You can't break the illusion.
It's magic.
Oh, literally every single time we do a video and we record 3 days or 3 videos at once, Evan goes, "Oh yeah, we're wearing the same clothes. We're filming."
Yeah, look at my shirt, guys. But yeah, okay. Bye, Johnny. See you later, buddy. And we'll see you guys in 2 seconds. Bye. Welcome back, guys. Back here with Mike, and here we are about to do our Gen 1 battle. As you can see, our teams are up. Based on Michael's team, it looks like your Executor is your surprise.
Mm-hmm. Yours is obviously...
mine was the Dragonite.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized I picked Gengar instead of Golem, but whatever.
Cheater.
Okay, you ready? Who to choose? Who to choose? Let's go with this.
Fuck.
Interesting. Well, let's get this thing off. Just to start. Go ahead, Mike. Switch Pokemon. Oh, very clever.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Even with the special boost. Holy shit.
Thought I taught my Slowbro Earthquake. I don't know why. Okay, whatever.
Oh, well. I just realized how badly Earthquake fucks up my team. Oh, you used Dig? Yeah, no, fuck you.
How dare you?
I'm not getting hit by a Dig. You can go fuck yourself. What you gonna do? Oh, it's Executor.
Probably no Fire Blast, so I don't know what to do now.
Sorry?
Because you probably know Fire. Yep.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, you ate that. Holy shit. All right, now I'm asleep. That is a problem. That is a very big problem. Oh, I woke up. Excellent. You know what? I'm going to die anyway. Fuck it. Balls to the wall, baby.
Holy fuck, I thought that was going to kill me.
I thought so, too. Okay. What speed do I need? All right, let's go with this. Safe play. Hit you with one of these bad boys. There we go.
It just doesn't kill me.
I would have been absolutely pissed. All right. I'm okay with this. Oh, and the crit. Holy.
Oh, I forgot Kangaskhan can learn Earthquake.
Oh, Earthquake was a crit too. Holy shit. Crit for crit. Dragonite. All right, I guess I'm just going to go all out for this. There we go. Oh, okay. I didn't think I would survive. I would have used a different move then. Oh, well. Okay. Okay, let's go back to this guy.
Fuck it.
What did you use? Fire Blast. Come on, Michael. You're better than that.
What do you mean I'm better than that?
Well, you must have something else. Like Body Slam would have been good. Oh, and the crit. It doesn't look so good for you there, Mike.
Why are you getting a crit on like every single thing?
Because I'm awesome. Toxic.
Why is that not doing anything? Oh, because I'm
What?
not a steel type, right?
No, yeah. So I wonder if this will do more. I'm only doing about 12 damage. Oh, yeah, I guess it is doing more damage.
Eh.
Use the Hyper Beam. And it was a crit. How did I survive that? That's crazy. It's okay, I'm probably going to die from this toxic anyway.
Try it again. What is with all
Boy.
these crits?
Maybe it's a Pokemon Stadium thing. I don't know. One of these things. I'm sorry to say, Mike. I think it's game over.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, oh, I thought that was going to kill you. Okay, and you use Dig. I know Earthquake won't hit you. Huh, that did a lot less damage than I thought it would. But I think with that,
You're gonna miss. Yeah.
What is it now? 5-0?
I don't know. Nor do I care.
Okay. Well, there you go. I'm the victor. All right, Mike, show us your team. Give us a run through.
Okay. I'm not happy with my team now that I thought about it. Why did I choose Magneton? I don't remember. Well, I chose it based off of future things, right? Like I didn't think about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, so
I
my
love your slow, bro. Love that.
Because I was prepared for you to use a grass type against me. Then I realized you didn't have a grass type.
See, the problem with Slowbro, though, I'm looking at it, his special is so low.
Right?
Why is that? He's a physical type? Really?
If I were to do it again, I'd do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, an Earthquake, Body Slam, Psychic.
If I had actually scouted your team, I would put Earthquake on it.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know,
your Gengar's pretty much the exact same as mine.
But you know, you totally just got 1,500 crits. So
hey, he got this as many. Okay, Arcanine. Pretty good. I'm okay with that.
Didn't have that much of a moveset to really go with. I thought it knew more. Fucking Magneton. Fuck off.
Yeah, honestly, with him, I probably just went like Toxic, Substitute, like a Thunderbolt, which you did. I mean, pretty good, I guess. Your Dragonite was the one I was curious about because we pretty much built it the same way, except I didn't have Ice Beam or Thunderbolt. I used Fire Blast and Surf, Body Slam, and then I had a Hyper Beam just in case, like as a physical, like just to fuck you. Because I think in the original games, yeah, Hyper Beam, it's like if you kill the Pokemon or they substitute it out, you can like go that same turn. Or like you can like you don't have to recharge. So
an Executor. Not that I got to use it.
Oh. I mean, he's pretty good. I'm surprised his special's so low again. Oh no, that's speed. Sorry, his special is pretty good actually. Yeah, pretty good. Well, that's too bad. Oh well.
I just want to see how many crits you had.
A lot.
Wow, like, that's my crit. It felt like every move was a crit for you. Pretty much that one wasn't. Your double kicks weren't. There's one. That's fine.
I had a crit Earthquake, which was 2.
I'm sure it wouldn't have killed Gengar.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it would have. I'm pretty sure you had more crits than I did.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure you did.
No way.
I think I had like 3.
4.
4, okay. I'm sure you guys about the same. All right, let me show you my squad. Oh, hey, turn off the disabled share screening so I can show you my boss ass team. Yes. That one. Share. All right, here's the squad. Oh, don't look. All right, so Nidoking, typical Earthquake, Rock-Slide, Thunderbolt, Body Slam, just went full on attack. Jolteon was weird. I was trying to pick between Double Kick and Pin Missile, and I thought Double Kick would be better for like rock types, but yeah, Reflect just in case of physical attackers. Kangaskhan, straightforward, Hyper Beam, Earthquake, Thunderbolt, Body Slam. Kabutops was very similar. I threw a submission on there just for coverage, but Ice Beam and Surf, didn't really need to use him. Gengar was very much similar to yours, except I used Confuse Ray instead of Nightshade, just because I felt like Nightshade wouldn't have really helped me that much. And then, like I said earlier, my Dragonite, Fire Blast, Hyper Beam, Thunderbolt, Surf. But yeah, that's my squad. I definitely think I had the better squad.
The fact that I chose Magneton.
Yeah, it's not a great pick, Mike. But
When I thought about it, I was like, Steel type exists, and
yeah,
Magnezone is great.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, and what we can do for like our worst video, I know I already made my team, but you can probably like make it work. Like you don't have to necessarily have to use one of them, right? Use the honorable mention over it.
No, it's okay. If it's gonna be on my list, I might as well use it.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well that is the battle. I'm up, I think, 5-0.
Eventually, I'll go on a streak.
Eventually.
Once I win one, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, but Michael posts the score up or down. I don't know where. If it is 5-0, great. He'll post it because I'm sick. But Mike will win one eventually, I'm sure. I feel like this next battle for the worst team that we're going to do next week, I'm sure you'll do fine because my team is absolutely trash. Like, I'm not kidding.
I'm sure it is. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Piece of Kaake Gaming, or at Piece of Cake for Instagram, I think. One of them. Just
social media.
Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below saying 5-0. I mean, it's a thing.
Yeah. Comment down your favorites because I feel like a lot of people have different opinions. Definitely leave a comment about like which ones you prefer, which ones you thought of ours that were good, what you think about like you think ours were bad or whatever you want. But definitely let us know what you think. It's always interesting to hear what you talk or like what other people think because like even what Johnny was saying earlier, we could talk for hours talking about different opinions and stuff. So, and we love doing that. That's why we're doing this. So definitely leave your opinions down below. Be nice. But yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you all later.
Bye.
Oregon.